Welcome back to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 here on the Theme Park Realm YouTube channel. And obviously in the last video we did carry on work on the Egyptian style area of the park, and that's exactly what we're going to be continuing work on today. If you have missed the last episode, do go and check it out. It is on the channel. I'll link it in the description below and also at the end of the video as well if you do want to go and take a little look at that previous video. But in the last video we did build a drop tower. As I say, I wanted to put some more flat rides in the area. And then today we're going to be working on a flat ride. Sorry, not a flat ride, a family ride. And I've decided to go for a spinning style coaster, Wild Mouse spinning coaster. I just felt like that would be the best sort of option to put in the area. And I've not actually installed one of these yet in the park as of yet, so I feel like it was it'd be nice to go for sort of a new style of ride. It's not going to be particularly long. There's a few block sections you can see that I've put in, but mainly it's just going to be again about getting the theming and stuff like that around the actual ride area, and just adding kind of another family attraction to this area. Because as I say, we've got a couple of big rides in this area now, and I wanted to kind of focus more on like the family sort of side of things with this kind of end bit. And then obviously once we've finished this, then we are then going to be working on the next big area of the park. Now at the moment I'm not actually 100% sure what the next big area is going to be. I think it might be the water park. Obviously, I've said right from the beginning that this theme park will have a water park in it, and I kind of do want to get started on that now. So I feel like the next area that I actually start building might be the water park itself. It certainly could be. Don't get me wrong, there's still a few little bits left to do on this Egyptian style area. We do need to put in some sort of food stalls, toilets. I would like to get a couple more flat rides in there as well, just to kind of help mix things up in the area. So there is probably a couple more episodes of me working on this Egyptian style area. And then I feel like I need to do a little bit more theming in between things that I've built as well, because there is some blank spaces that I've noticed. So I'm going to be working on that as well, and just making sure that all of the gaps are filled in. But yeah, as I said previously, it's nice to get back in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. There was quite a long break in this series, and that was just because I'd upgraded my computer, and like I said in the last video, I wanted to kind of focus the channel more on off-ride footage, theme park vlogs, and news as well. But of course, at the moment, there isn't really much news coming out for theme parks, and obviously everywhere's been closed as well. But it is quite exciting because this weekend is going to be the first weekend that the theme parks in the UK reopen for the 2020 season, and it really is exciting. Now unfortunately I'm not going to be visiting Alton Towers or anything like that. I'm absolutely dying to get back to Alton Towers, but it's very difficult to visit now with the way this, well, sort of the situation with the Merlin Pass is, because at the moment they've obviously had to allocate almost like a specific amount of Merlin pass holder entries per day, and it's very difficult to get tickets at the moment. Obviously it is a very limited offering at the moment, with the season being cut short, and also them having to squeeze in normal guests alongside Merlin annual pass guests as well at the same time. So it is very limited at the moment trying to get yourselves into Alton Towers and Thorpe Park and all of the Merlin parks in the UK really. So I may end up going to Blackpool Pleasure Beach or potentially Fantasy Island. I'm not sure at the moment, but unfortunately I'm not going to be visiting even any Merlin theme parks for the foreseeable, well, for the next couple of weeks, just because I found it quite difficult to get in. Luckily I did manage to book in Thorpe Park, so we do have a trip coming up to Thorpe Park in a couple of weeks time, but I just couldn't book anything for that very first opening weekend, unfortunately. And I would be quite happy to visit Alton Towers in the middle of the week, but unfortunately at the moment the way that my work is, it just doesn't really permit me doing that. So the only real option that I've got is to go at the weekends. I'd love to kind of get a day off work and go in the middle of the week, because obviously it's so much quieter and you can just get so many more rides done, and I will definitely look at doing that in the future. Obviously we'll just see what's what's happening at the moment. We'll see how it plays out, and I might sort of book a few days off in the middle of the week to get myself down to Alton Towers and check out everything that's going on over there. But yeah, Alton Towers and Merlin in general, this year they've got some really good merch in the shops as well, I've noticed. Particularly at Thorpe Park and Alton Towers, they've got some like really good new merch out. All like the Wicker Man hoodies. I'm not sure if they're all new, but there's definitely a couple of new ones in there, and they look really good. They've got some new Nemesis clothing as well, and they've also got rid of they've changed the actual ride mugs as well. And the new ride mugs look really nice. There's a Nemesis one that I've got my eyes on, and also a Smiler and Oblivion one as well that I really like the look of. So I feel like when I do eventually get down there, I'm going to be buying some new mugs and some new merchandise as well, because they've got some really nice stuff in there this year. But yeah, you can see with this Egyptian style area, you know, as I say, the spinning coaster, I feel like it's the best fit for this area, and I think you'll probably agree with me when I actually finish off with this video. It really does look, you know, good against all of like the theming and stuff like that. So I think this, you know, a spinning wild mouse is definitely the ride of choice to kind of get this area finished off and get the theming finished off as well. But it just fits in really nicely to the overall sort of aesthetic of the area, and it's quite a good ride as well. I do have an on-ride sort of go of it at the very end of the video, and it is a very good ride to be on from an on-ride perspective as well. It looks really good, so I was really pleased with this. But one thing that you don't know from watching this video is I actually built this ride twice. So I built it not a few times, I built it once, and I actually forgot to save the game. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if the first attempt was actually better than the second one. But yeah, I built the whole thing, I recorded the whole thing, and then I went back, I actually reopened the game just to go and take a screenshot for the thumbnail for the video, and then I realised that I hadn't actually saved the game, which is obviously a complete rookie error. And going forwards, I will make sure that I keep saving it over and over again, because obviously with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, it doesn't sort of auto-save or anything like that. So if you close the game and you haven't saved it, then it's gone, like, completely, and you're right back to the beginning. And I've done it so many times before as well. You know, I really should know better by now, but it turns out that I just haven't learnt my lesson. And I did the same thing again. I built the whole thing, the whole ride. I built it once. Don't get me wrong, you know, I feel like one thing that I did learn from the first attempt is I needed to space it out more, and I have done that on the second attempt. But the first one that I built was actually really good, and I was really happy with it, and then I just didn't save the game. So that was a complete fail. But you can see here I'm just building up the detail. I'm getting some plants in there, getting a little bit of rock work around there as well. And I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I just think it looks really good. Now this sort of area that you can see here on the other side of the path, I'm leaving that empty for a reason. I'm not sure if I'm going to build a flat ride there or potentially have some restaurants, some toilets, stuff like that there, some sort of general facilities, but I am going to be putting something there. So I've kind of kept that area free and blank, and in the next video we'll be putting something in that area. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put there at the moment, but I am going to be putting something in there, so watch this space because there will be something being built there eventually. You can see I'm just trying to build some sort of additional buildings just for a bit more, of a thematic effect, if you want to call it that. So I'm just getting some more detail in there, some more theming. But yeah, I'm really excited to get the water park built as well, because I feel like that's going to be a really good section of the park. And water parks that I've built in the past I've been really happy with, so I'm really looking forward to that. One thing that I would really like to do as well is I'd like to get a roller coaster that goes above the water park. I think that'd be really cool, or even if it's just some sort of transport ride like a monorail or something like that. I do think that would be a really good kind of like addition to have, just sort of going above the water park, bit of interaction. I think that could be really good, so I'm definitely going to look at doing something like that as well. But the main focus of the water park is going to be slides. There's going to be loads of slides, and I'm going to try my best to do some really good ones in there as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting that sort of sorted out. But yeah, I don't know whether to do an area in between the Egyptian area and the water park as well. I might do that. I might go back to the sort of the very start of the map, the sort of the entrance area, and I might build the entrance to the water park there, and then there'll be a gap then between the back of the water park and the Egyptian area, and that sort of frees up a bit of space to add another area in that kind of sort of void, if you like, between those two areas. At the moment I think the Egyptian style area now is actually bigger than the western area, so we do have some pretty large areas. You can see what I'm doing there now is I'm building a platform under the ride, just because I think it looks better than having like the generic supports. And also as well, if you're in a real theme park, there'd definitely be some sort of net. Well, if you're in a Merlin theme park, there'd definitely be some netting under that ride there to protect people from like falling debris, if you want to call it that, falling phones and stuff like that. So I thought it looked quite good, and I decided to go with that, put a few sort of like bridges, just to go sort of underneath the actual track of the ride. I actually think it makes the area look better as well. It just looks better than the the default supports that are in the game. I'm putting a few barrels around now. I'm getting a little bit random with my theming at the moment. I've got to say something about RCT3, and that is that it is very difficult to get sort of find like theming in the menus. I don't know if it's just me, but I find it really tricky to find like all of the like theming and stuff like that. It does my head in sometimes. Now a lot of people have been suggesting that I get Planet Coaster. And that is something that I'm absolutely going to be looking at doing, absolutely. But I do really enjoy Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, so I really wanted to do a series on this game first, just because of how much I enjoy the game. But don't get me wrong, Planet Coaster is absolutely something that I'm going to be looking at in the future. I'm not 100% sure when at the moment, but I'm probably going to be looking at like the Steam sale, maybe later on in the year, and I will get a copy of it then. And then I will definitely do a series on it for the channel as well. But it's just a matter at the moment of finishing off this series first. I really want to get this map, looking really good before I start anything else. So yes, it is going to be coming, but I'm just not 100% sure when at the moment. But yeah, Planet Coaster is definitely going to be something that's on the cards, because it does look like a really, really good game. So yeah, I'm certainly going to be getting that. And you can see now, I'm kind of just looking around the area, seeing if there's anything else that I can do. In the end, I decided to put this kind of hill around there, because I know that there's going to be another area behind that hill that I've just built. So I wanted to kind of create something to section it off. And you can see what I'm doing here now as well, is I'm building another wall to kind of enclose this side of the ride. And I think this is going to be really good. So in the next video, when I actually put a flat ride or restaurants in front of here, I think it's going to end up looking really good with this kind of like Egyptian style wall at the back of it. Don't get me wrong, this wall is literally just a really tall wall. There's not going to be anything behind it. You'll see that I will build kind of like a small little one square wide building, but there's actually not going to be, it doesn't serve any purpose. This is just kind of like a set piece, so there's no actual building or anything like that to it. It's literally just a facade, if you want to call it that. I might put like a hill behind that so you can't see the facade, because there is a lot of free space in this map, and it may be that I go back, I might expand the Egyptian area, or I might build something completely different behind it. So as you can see, I've put like a generic wall in there, and then that lets me do whatever I want to do with that back area in the future. But that is just a facade. But yeah, in the next video, we're going to be carrying on with this Egyptian area. It's probably only going to be going on now for another 2 or 3 episodes at the very most, and then we'll be moving on into a brand new area then after that. But yeah, if you do have any suggestions, anything that you'd like to see me build in this world, please do let me know in the comments down below. I'm always open to ideas, absolutely. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.